Imagine a company is losing money and nobody inside the company can figure out why. Or a family business that has been running for 40 years suddenly realizes it needs to completely reinvent itself in the digital age but has no idea where to start. Who do they call? They call a management consultant. And today we are going to talk about one of the most sought after, most demanding, and honestly most fascinating career paths in the business world. What is a management consultant? A management consultant is an external expert who is brought into an organization to help solve complex business problems, improve performance, or guide major strategic decisions. The key word there is external. Consultants are not employees of the company, they're helping. They come in from the outside. They study the situation with fresh eyes and give recommendations that internal teams, who are often too close to the problem, cannot see clearly. Think of it like going to a doctor. You could try to diagnose yourself, but sometimes you need someone trained, objective, and experienced to tell you what is actually wrong and what you should do about it. Management consultants are essentially doctors for businesses. They work at consulting firms, ranging from global giants like McKinsey, BCG, and Bain, which are called MBB in the industry, to the big four accounting and consulting firms like Deloitte, PwC, EY, and KPMG, to mid-sized boutique firms that specialize in specific industries. Now, let's understand the key roles and responsibilities. What does a consultant actually do? Because from the outside, it can seem vague. Let me break it down. First is problem definition. Before solving anything, the consultant has to understand exactly what the problem is. This sounds obvious, but it is genuinely difficult. Clients often come in saying that our sales are down, when the real problem is something much deeper, a pricing issue, an operational efficiency, or a cultural problem. Defining the right problem is half the job. Second is research and data analysis. Once the problem is defined, the consultant dives deep. They collect data, conduct interviews with employees at all the levels, benchmark the company against competitors, and analyze financials. This phase involves a lot of Excel, a lot of reading, and a lot of conversations. Third is building frameworks and insights. This is where the intellectual work happens. The consultant takes all that data and shapes it into a coherent story. Here is what is happening. Here is why. Here is what it means. Consulting firms are known for their structured thinking. Tools like SWOT analysis, Porter's five forces, the BCG matrix, these are frameworks that help organize complex problems into clear thinking. Fourth is developing recommendations. Based on the analysis, the consultant develops specific actionable recommendations, not vague suggestions. Concrete steps the client can take with clear expected outcomes. Fifth is presenting to leadership. Everything culminates in a presentation to senior leadership or the board. This is high stakes. The consultant has to walk a room full of experienced executives through findings and recommendations clearly, confidently, and concisely. Communication under pressure is a core part of this job. And finally, six is the implementation support. Increasingly, consultants do not just recommend and leave. Many projects now include an implementation phase where the consulting team works alongside the client's internal teams to actually execute the changes. This makes the work more hands on and the results more accountable. What are the skills required here? Consulting is one of those careers where the skill requirements are genuinely broad. You need to be good at many things simultaneously. Structured problem solving is a foundation. Can you take a messy, complicated situation and break it down into clear logical components? This is the single most important skill in consulting and it can be developed with practice. Analytical skills. You will spend a significant amount of time working with data, financial models, market sizing, operational metrics. Comfort with quantitative analysis is non negotiable. Communication presentation skills. Consultants present to CEOs and board members regularly. If you cannot communicate complex ideas simply and confidently, this career will be very difficult. Interpersonal skills. Consultants work with client teams who sometimes resent having outsiders come in and tell them what to do. Building trust quickly, managing resistance, and making people feel heard. These are critical. Intellectual curiosity. Every project is a different industry, a different problem, a different context. You have to genuinely enjoy learning quickly and deeply about things you knew nothing about 3 weeks ago. Resilience and work ethic. Consulting is demanding. Long hours, frequent travel, tight deadlines, and high client expectations are the reality. People who thrive here genuinely enjoy the intensity. People who do not leave within 2 years. And that is okay too, because the exit opportunities from consulting are excellent. Most consultants come from top MBA programs or from undergraduate degrees at premier institutions. In India, IIM graduates dominate entry into the top consulting firms. But increasingly, firms are also hiring from IITs for data and technology heavy consulting practices. Now, let's understand the career prospects. And let's be honest, consulting is one of the best paying careers available to business graduates in India and globally too. At entry level, a fresh MBA joining a top consulting firm in India can expect anywhere from 20 to 35 lakhs per annum at the Big Four and significantly more at the MBB firms. With 3 to 5 years of experience, those numbers grow substantially. But here is what makes consulting truly special as a career choice: the exit opportunities. Because consulting exposes you to many industries, so many types of problems, and so many senior leaders. After 5 to 7 years, many consultants move into industry roles at very senior levels. Former consultants become strategy directors, chief operating officers, startup founders, venture capitalists, and CEOs. The consulting career is almost like an accelerated MBA in the real world. The career path within consulting goes from analyst to consultant to senior consultant to manager to principal to partner. Making partner at a top firm typically takes 10 to 15 years and represents one of the most prestigious achievements in the business world. In India specifically, consulting is growing rapidly. As Indian companies scale globally, as startups mature and need strategic guidance, and as digital transformation becomes a priority across every sector, the demand for good consultants is only going up. So, if you're someone who gets genuinely excited by complex problems, who enjoys variety and does not want to be doing the same thing every day, who is comfortable with ambiguity and pressure, and who wants a career that opens more doors than almost any other, management consulting deserves serious consideration. It will push you hard, but what it gives you in return in skills, exposure, and opportunity is genuinely hard to match anywhere else. Thank you.